Here's a picture I drew, brothers and sisters, of Luffy kind of just getting ready to do what Luffy does, and that's kick some ass. So if you like this type of drawing and more, remember to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even the Google+. One Piece, Chapter 173, Banana Guitar.
I love it. Oh, yeah. Hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome, action-packed, thrill-a-minute tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, left us really with, the shit about to hit the fan. I mean, the rebels are bound for Elebarna. The Royal Army, of course, is going to fight them there. Thousands upon thousands are going to wind up dying in this conflict if the Straw Hats and Vivi can't, divert this tragedy that's about to happen. And then ultimately at the end we saw, Sir Crocodile, basically just screwing with the Straw Hats and Vivi, taking the key to their cage and dropping it on the floor, and of course it going down into a trap door, down into the the Banana Gator fish tank type deal. So that's where things left off. That's where things pick up, and this one was fun because it all took place, right here, right in this little underwater chamber here in the Rain Dinners Casino in Rain Base Lake. Where of course the Straw Hats are captured. Now, I didn't notice this either, but Sanji's not with them. In the last chapter, I went and I said that I thought Chopper, because he had went off, and I don't understand why Sanji's not with them, because I thought that he was with them and he came into there. But we've got Smoker in there, we've got Luffy, we've got Usopp, and we've got Zoro and Nami. And then of course Vivi is, had been tied up in the chair and everything, but no Sanji either. So we'll get to that though later on in the review here. So really this was Crocodile, pretty much giving Vivi a choice, but both choices are terrible. Hey, listen, you can come with us now to Elebarna and see if you can, divert the attack. Or you can go and try to get the key that I accidentally dropped into the Banana Gator, pen over here, or whatever you want to call it, tank. And then we wind up seeing very quickly, too, one of the Banana Gators comes by, scoops up the key, and actually eats it. And then we go and we see that there's like 10 Banana Gators in there or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. So now you got to go and you got to kill all of them and, try to find which one's got the key. So they talk a little bit about Banana Gators and how these things are ferocious, that even sea monsters are afraid of them. They're obviously very fast, very strong, and some of their features, like on their head and even on like their scales, it looks as if they have bananas growing out of them. And it's real funny because when Luffy goes and sees them, he's like, "Oh, look it, there's a gator growing out of that banana." They're like, "No, idiot, it's bananas, or it looks like there's bananas growing out of the gators." But I guess it's just a difference of perspective. That's how he sees it. So really we get, of course, Miss All Sunday and Croc talking about his plan, and how everything's going to. He's going to leave. He's on his way. He's got to go to Elebarna. And it doesn't matter what her choice is anyway. This whole place is going to be sunk in an hour anyway. He's allowing it to start flooding. And, he used this as the president of Baroque Works, but of course no longer needs that because he's no longer going to have that title, considering he is, he's going to be taking over or ruling Alabasta, whatever his grand plan is. So again, we get, some of that back and forth banter between them, and Vivi's like, "You monster," and this and that. He goes to walk off with Miss All Sunday, and as he's kind of going to walk away, Vivi's like, "What should I do?" And Luffy's just like, and they're just like, "Go ahead, you get the key and save us." And she's like, "I can't," and that's where we learn something about these Banana Gators and how ferocious and fierce they are. Just one is, let alone several of them. And we don't know who has the key, of course. So we obviously find out that that's not going to happen. Vivi goes to pick up her cool little, whip-like thing or whatever, her little bolero, I like to call it. And she looks like she's going to go and wind up and try to go and take out Croc, because Croc goes and talks about how it was so easy to take over the country, or how it's so easy to do this because basically the country's full of idiots, So she's kind of talking to herself. She's like, "I'll show you about this country and this and that, And she's getting really pissed off. She decides at the last minute to just kind of put her head down and not go after him. And he winds up going and through one of the trap doors that he has opened up or whatever that he opens up. One of these giant Banana Gators comes out. His head comes out of it or whatever. And then he's like, "Okay, well, I guess you made your choice. I guess now you just got to kill all the Banana Gators." And because he tells her too that she's got about 7 hours left, I think he says, until the rebels reach Alubarna and all hell breaks loose and they start fighting. And he's like, that's not enough time to travel there. Or that's maybe what she's thinking. It's not enough time to get there, even if I left now, unless you have some kind of transportation that can get you there faster. Certainly comes to mind as Pell the Falcon, if he's still, alive and able somewhere. But again, just my thoughts on that matter. So we get this Banana Gator that comes out, and these things really are fierce. I mean, this thing comes out, and I mean, it's huge. It's got to be, I'm guessing like 40 foot long or something like that, 30, 40 feet long. I mean, freaking gigantic. One bite take you out, So this thing comes out and, and Croc's like, oh yeah, okay, well, just take out and see you later. Go, and he's going to walk away with Miss All Sunday. And of course, the room is starting to flood now. The Straw Hats that are in the cage, they don't want to die, of course. And we get, some cool action between Vivi and the Banana Gator. The Gator goes to come at her, and she's able to dodge it. She's trying to go and nail it or whatever, and it, it clomps down and just boom, takes her out. Well, I mean, she was flying back anyway. And they're like, wow, look at the power of the powerful jaws in that thing, man. He just completely bit through those stone stairs, So he's tearing the place up over here, and you're thinking, man, this is terrible. All is lost, And this is where initially in the last chapter I would be thinking, that the Chopper would come to the rescue. So anyway, then we go and we see towards the end of the chapter, here we see Sir Crocodile and Miss All Sunday, and they're leaving, and all of a sudden they hear ring, 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 what the hell? And it's a phone. It's our mini snailophone, right? And it said, not for international calls, so only local calls for the baby ones, right? So, yes, who's there, And you hear like, hello, can you hear me? And then Miss All Sunday's like, yes, we can hear you. Is this one of the millions? Thinking that maybe somebody's calling to report in. And hello, can you hear me? It's the first time I've used one of these. Can you hear me? Like, what the hell, Yes, go ahead. State your business, we can hear you. And it's just awesome because I'm reading this whole thing as I'm going through over here. Sorry, it's hard to see in the low light. And we get I just love that. And then we get Sir Crocodile here. He goes and he's just like, that voice, I've heard it before. And immediately I was going back and I was thinking about Little Garden, right? And son of a bitch. And he goes, this is Restaurant Le Crap. And if you remember, that's what Sanji said when he talked to Crocodile over the snail phone. And posed as Mr. 3 and told him that the Straw Hats had been taken out and everything else. He answered as Restaurant Le Crap. So anyway, that's really what made me realize, like, oh shit, Sanji's not there. And I guess I just didn't pay attention for some reason, because when they would show the Straw Hats in there, of course, a lot of times the way the perspective was, they just show one or two that you were focusing on. You wouldn't see the entire, inside of the cage. And I think because a couple of chapters ago, Luffy and Usopp were goofing around, and Luffy was, had like the swirly eyebrow, and he was like making fun of Sanji, like he was smoking and everything. So I just assumed that he was in there with them, but certainly it seems like Sanji is going to come to the rescue. So I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I thought that was really cool. My chapter question over here, though, for you is now, where is Chopper? I guess that would really be the question. Where is Chopper? Where is Pell the Falcon? You know what I mean? And hopefully, if it's not too big of a spoiler, you can let me know, because I'm hoping that they'll come in too and help to save the day. Because even though Sanji is a badass, and I can see now, I'm starting to see some of the reasons now why guys like King of Lightning, that's his favorite guy and everything else. And don't get me wrong, man. Listen, I have no real front-running favorites as far as, for just the badassery. Luffy has certainly proven time and time again not to ever count him out. Sanji as well. And Zoro is just, he is just the gift that keeps on giving. It just keeps coming. So I haven't really made my decision yet, so to speak, on out of those three, that powerful three, which would be my favorite, because I really do enjoy all of them. But I can certainly see with things like this, because Sanji goes and that it's about to hit the fan, that it's about to go down. And I'm just excited to see it. So, again, I just wanted to know, brothers and sisters, and if you leave it in the comments down below, where you think at this point, where Chopper is, and if, of course, Pell the Falcon, where he is. I didn't think that he was killed. I know he was defeated by by Miss All Sunday, but I certainly didn't think he was killed. So, anyway, remember to hit the thumbs up, the like button, if you should think that I deserve it. Sorry, I got a little off track over there. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And then the only other thing to say, I guess, is we'll look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation.
Jesus, she's crying so much that there's just snot running right out of her nose. So it's probably because you haven't subscribed yet, or maybe rated, commented, liked the videos. Maybe go back and watch another one. I don't know what'll make her happy at this point.